Hey, good evening, good morning, good afternoon. Hi, hello, wherever you are and whatever you're doing. I am Legal Vices, and it is time for more Alec Baldwin video. We're running out of suspects here. We've got the second part of SARAH ZACHRY, the prop master, today, and then tomorrow will be David Halls, who is the assistant director. And then we'll have to move on to bigger and better things. That'll be the end of our Alec Baldwin thing until some other developments happen. So, hi, how are y'all doing today, tonight, this afternoon, wherever? It's a lovely 11:04 p.m. here in Korea. The weather is slightly cooler than it has been for the last 2 weeks. I was able to open my window for the first time in 2 weeks tonight, just because there's a slight breeze blowing. But I still have to turn on my fan. Well, let's see. Let's catch up on the chats that you all did before I got here. Anon Hamster says, I think I should watch the first part. Watch the first part after you watch the second part. I don't think there's going to be any great revelations. Just more evidence of incompetence. And again, for those of you that have seen the last half of this and have seen the David Hall thing, some of us haven't, including myself. I'm watching these together with you for the first time. So please, no spoilers for what's coming up on the video. It'd be nice to be able to experience it, the stupid as it happens. Hello to the mods. The mods are here in full force. My Beavers unit. We got who else do we have here? We've got tons of people here. Swan Lake lady, hometown girl there. She's been talking a lot today. That's great. All right, looks like not a whole lot of stuff to talk about from the pre-game show before I got here. Cowboy hat's too big and you can't see my face. Well, that's probably a good thing. I should do my stream like this. Well, nah, we'll just put it back a little bit. We can be like a dime store cowboy, wear it like that. Hey, Sweden, welcome. Good to see someone checking in from Sweden. Michigan. I know we have Utah in the house. Tennessee, Glasgow. Orange is the way. Hey, Orange. Nice to see you here tonight. Brisbane, we got Brisbane in the house. Brisbane had a nasty little subway stabbing the other day, didn't you? That was pretty brutal. Justice for Farron is trending, and Farron got her entire channel demonetized for some reason. So she's working on that shit, trying to figure out what the hell happened there. That was kind of weird. All right, Texas, mid-Michigan. All righty, well, and Kentucky and other people will continue to pour in. That's great. Glad to have you all here. We've been off doing other things the past couple of days, and now it's time to get back into it. You will remember that we've gone through the interrogation of the armorer, her 2 interviews. Hannah, she was just incompetent. She just comes across as completely incompetent, very lackadaisical, lacking in confidence, lacking in control, lacking in leadership on the set. We heard from Alec Baldwin way back in the day before I started doing this. He's just a fuckwit. That's all there was to his interview, to his interrogation. Really was. He's just an idiot. Fucking around with the gun, pulling triggers, denying blame. One hand saying he knows all about guns, he's been exposed to them, and the other hand saying, oh, I don't know anything about them. Oh, I know all about these different kinds of rounds there are, but I don't really know anything about them. He was all over the map. Then we had creepy Seth, who supplied the ammunition and some of the prop weapons for the set. I started out thinking he was a great guy. Ended up thinking he's probably a suspect in some nasty shit. That's kind of my feeling with Seth. He came across being fairly straightforward. Then he started being really critical of the armorer, Hannah, kind of giving her little shoves under the bus. But then he just full on went full simp for Sarah, who we're going to be listening to again today. He's like, oh, Hannah's an idiot. She's a jerk. She doesn't like me. Yeah, she's this way. She's that way. We hope she goes to jail. Why don't you arrest her now? She sucks. Her whole family's fucked up. And Sarah's so sweet. She's just the nicest, kindest person you'll ever meet. She's so gentle and caring about everybody. And Hannah was up in her shit. And then it came out through the interview that Seth had a beef with Hannah, the armorer, before this shooting incident, and was all up in Hannah's shit and didn't like Hannah before this shooting incident happened, which sort of lends itself to the possibility that he said he wanted her fired. He tried to get her fired. So if she's the armorer and there's an accident that happens on set with the armory and the weapons that he supplied, the rounds that he supplied, you got problems. He's a weird one. Seth and Sarah, Seth was simping hard for Sarah. So, and he wanted him fired, and he was in charge of some things. So I'm kind of thinking Seth is pretty suspect at this point. And then we had our first part of Sarah's interview. Sarah revealed that the reason that Seth was all up in Hannah's shit was because Hannah does not. I mean, Seth. Fuck me. There's too many people here in this little drama we've got going here. Sarah, the prop master. She was dicking around with the guns too and shot herself basically in the foot with a blank. Had there been a live round in there, she would have blown her damn foot off. She said that she's been a lead armorer on a movie before. She said that she's knowledgeable and stuff, but then she refers to parts of guns as thingies, and I don't know. I don't know who loaded the guns. I don't know who did this. I don't know who touched them last. I don't know who was doing. She basically comes across as not knowing a damn thing. So we have just incompetence and just lack of any modicum of knowing what the hell you're doing from literally anyone involved in this, except for Seth. And he's pushing too hard to get Hannah arrested and in trouble for my liking. So that brings us up to speed. For those of you that are just joining us for our first ones, I'm sure that didn't make any sense in review. This is why I don't watch soap operas and shit like that. Because when you try to explain the story to someone, it gets way too convoluted and people look at you like you're nuts. But let's just jump into the last half of Sarah Zachary's interrogation by the police. Again, she has a lawyer with her, and her lawyer is good. I'll give her lawyer props. He's good, but everyone else, they either didn't have a lawyer or the lawyer sucked. Let's see how much more we can learn. I can't really exactly remember where we were in the grand scheme of things with Sarah. Let me bump it back here a couple of minutes just for good measure's sake. And all right, for those of you that are here and are joining us, we've got a couple hundred of you here now. Please hit that like button. That would do me a big favor and get the word out there to the YouTube algorithm that there's something here worth watching because you liked it. So hit that like button. And those of you that haven't subscribed yet, I would just be honored if you would do me the pleasure and the privilege of hitting that subscription button if you hear something you like. If you're here and you're watching, I think you're going to be okay, and I think you're going to like this, and I think you're going to want to see more. So hit the notification as well. Got to do the grift. Subscribe, like, hit the notification button, and that's all I ask of you. But if you are so inclined as to do it, dang, my phone is going crazy. I thought I had it on. Now I have it on vibrate. There we go. Oh yes, I was mid grift. If there's something you desperately want to ask me, or you want me to read, you want to get something off your chest, you want to say something, the best way to do that is through the super chats. Then I'm guaranteed to see those. Other general comments in the chat, I'll see them when I see them. If I see them, I'm doing my thing over here. If I look over there and see something interesting, that's cool. I'll make a comment on it. But the super chats, and those are the stickers. They're the way to get my attention, and that'll get you bumped to the front of the comment line. So keep that in mind, and let me pull up our lady of the interrogation, Sarah Zachary. Here we go. Boom. Full screen that baby. All right. Yep, we don't have anything else to clear. Let's get straight into it. And again, I can't even remember where we ended off on this. Probably some insane place where we had been the entire time anyway. So let's go.
During lunch. Okay. And maybe just, was it up there before lunch?
Yeah.
Okay. Was it up there during the entire course of the day?
Okay, I remember where we were. We're talking about these this was part of this whole lackadaisical, ridiculous attitude towards things. They would lock some of the weapons in the armor truck, in the armory, in the prop truck, in a safe in the prop truck. They don't know if anybody was watching the truck. They don't know if the truck was locked. But the ammunition, they would just sort of leave it on a cart on set while people were at lunch and things, and they would just sit there all day. And you weren't supposed to go near the cart. Only a few people were supposed to go near the cart. But basically, they have an entire cart full of ammunition just sitting there. And as the armorer Hannah said, the ammunition was just chilling on the cart all day. So that her lawyer is now making the clarification there. Was it there the whole time, just there through the whole day? Who was looking at the ammo?
Not the entire course, because we started out in the western town.
That's what I thought. At what point did it go from the western town up to the church, the prop cart with the ammo on it?
When we were moving up there for the next scene.
When was that?
I don't know.
Prior to lunch or after lunch?
Prior to lunch.
Prior to lunch. Lunch was at 12:30. Was it before 11:30?
Yes.
Okay. So was it before 10:30?
I don't.
Okay. So it was somewhere around 11:30 to 10.
And again, the prop master doesn't know when the props are moving around. The prop master doesn't know when the ammunition and the guns and other props are moving around the set.
30, we know that prop, that one with the ammo gets moved up to the church, right? And it's a prop cart with the ammo up there. It's unattended because there's no guns there, right?
At lunch?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and even prior, because you guys are doing the western scene, it's up there.
Yeah.
Okay. So 1:20, you go to the prop. You open up the safe, you hand these guns out to everybody, and you guys go up the hill.
Mm-hmm.
So you say 1:30, 1:35, you loaded the guns. Maybe it was that quick. I mean, it's only 10 or 15 minutes before you handed the guns out. You guys got up there and you took them out of the socks and loaded them.
I mean, we moved pretty quickly.
Okay.
And her lawyer is doing a great job. I like this lawyer. He's asking the questions, and this is him clarifying the questions for the police officer, for the sheriff's lady here. Her name is Alex, by the way. Now, Mistress May, he's doing his job. She's saying the lawyer's talking too much. He's doing his job because the police were asking she asked kind of a vague question. Excuse me. And he's asking clarifications. He's trying to word the questions in a way that's very favorable to his client. She is just dumber than a bucket of rocks, and she's not picking up on it. So we've got that's why he was saying like all right, you hand out the guns at 1:35, and then like 1:45 or whatever the time was, you're loading the ammunition. He's like, well, wasn't that a bit quick? So I guess the idea he was trying to get her to say no, it was a long time between handing out the guns and the ammunition, so somebody could have done something to them. It's like, no, so isn't it a little bit longer than that? I mean, that seems like a pretty quick time. So maybe didn't it take you longer to do that? It's like, nope, we worked pretty quick. And that's when the lawyer goes, all right, okay. Well, again, it's okay. It's fair. Well, he can lead his client. This isn't court. This is a police interrogation. He can ask any question he wants. That's his job, is to clarify the questions, make sure his client understands the question. And if she has a problem with it, if a police officer has a problem with the questions, then they can have a discussion. But it's not a court of law. There's no like rules of evidence or objection rules for the police interrogations. He's just clarifying the questions and wording them in a way that's very favorable to his client. Just his client isn't catching on. He's got that God face when no, aren't you sure it didn't take a little bit longer than nope, we worked really fast. He's like, all right.
It was that quick. I mean, it's only 10 or 15 minutes before you handed the guns out. You guys got up there and you took them out of the socks and loaded them.
I mean, it was pretty quick.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure.
Like,
But I really do want to put that prop cart with the ammo on it unintended.
That's the prop cart. We finally see the prop cart. Whoever did this, I wonder if it was Crime Circus. Oh, by the way, these videos come from Crime Circus. Go visit the Crime Circus channel. He's packed and loaded with all kinds of criminal investigations and things and interrogations. That's a great channel. He has the great feeds, and he puts a little bit of effort into them. And one of the fun games to play with Crime Circus is spot the watermark. Here he's got his watermark on the cup. But so here we have these rounds that are just laying here. We got a box of them over here, probably a box there. There's some. This is her fanny pack where she's so proud of the fact it has lots of pockets where she can mix and mingle lots of different kinds of rounds. So this is the cart where the ammunition just chills out by itself during lunch.
During a portion of time.
Right.
Can I ask you a couple other questions?
Yeah.
So that morning, there was a crew that walked off, correct? And they were walked
It was
off.
the day prior.
It was the day prior.
I thought it was the morning. Did you watch them walk off? No.
I love this cop. She is smart. I thought she was losing her edge during Seth's interrogation because he was kind of running all over her. But then she just slammed the door hard in the last 12 minutes and basically got some good information out of him. And here she did it again. Did you pick that up? Let's bump this back a couple seconds.
Crew that walked off, correct? And they were walked
It was
off.
the day.
The crew. Okay, he's saying there's a crewman that walked off that morning, and the cop says, "No, that was the day before." And then a little Miss Sarah here says, no, that was this morning. And then the cop has been writing her shit now for about the last 15 minutes. The cop isn't taking any crap from Sarah. So she's like, well, were you there? Did you see the person walk off? Well, no. All right. I seem to have muted us.
Did you?
They were walked
It was
off.
the day prior.
It was the day prior.
I thought it was the morning. Did you watch them walk off? No. I thought they just came and got their stuff in the morning, is what I heard from Lane in the interview. Right. Again, you didn't witness though, right? Yeah. So.
She's riding her shit, and I like that. Did you see her? No. Well, that's what did you see the person walk off? No. Well, that's what I heard when I saw someone else's goddamn interview. And she's like, yeah, see your damn client. Your client's talking about shit. She doesn't know what she's talking about. You didn't witness it, so shut the fuck up. Tell me what you witnessed.
Thank you.
It was the day before. There was like one person that came the next day to pick up some equipment, and that was about it. But they were never unattended. Notes.
Huh?
The notes.
Yes.
What about the belts?
What about?
After lunch?
We would have taken them back too.
Whatever you did.
We did.
Oh God, I love
Alec.
this cop. I love this cop. Again, like this, she hasn't been this way with any other of the people that she's interrogated. She was a little strict with Hannah. She kind of gave Seth free rein to hang himself. With Baldwin, she was just letting him talk and kind of sink himself. And she was asking him, well, have you been around guns? Yes. Do you know about weapons? Yes. You know, and let him just kind of basically admit that he knew everything about guns and he fucked up by not checking his weapon before it fired. But here she is riding Sarah hard, not letting her off the hook.
We would have taken them back too.
Yeah. So where were the belts with the rounds in it? Well, we would have taken them back. Well, whatever. Did you fucking take them back? You don't say we would have taken them back. Did you or did you not? I love this cop, and I don't say that about a lot of cops. She is an incredible interrogator. And it's almost Columbo style. If any of you have watched Columbo, where it looks like he doesn't know what he's doing until he kind of closes the trap, and she's been doing that. Soy Mafia kicked off the super chats. Thank you so much. My super chat ends up as cigar ash. And how much to fly back? Does not compute. I don't know what you're asking. Your super chat ends up as cigar ash. Okay, don't smoke your super chat. So how much to fly back to America? About $3,000 for just regular economy class. If that's what you're asking, that's what I'm answering. So all right, thank you so much for that. Yeah, let's see how hard she presses her, because she's still got like an hour of her investigation to go, and let's see how hard she's going to press.
After lunch.
We would have taken them back too.
Whatever you did.
We did. Alec kept his though. He kept his over lunch. He had his holster and his knife sheath.
He kept it on him.
Just not the gun.
Okay. Kind of interesting.
He didn't want to take it off, is what Hannah said, and so she just said that he would just keep it for lunch and come back.
Okay. When you guys came back up the hill with everything, did you notice anyone in the tent area, buy it, anything of the sort?
I don't remember.
Okay.
Again, those seemingly innocent questions are very, very, very important from an investigation point of view. Is that it seems like an innocent question. Okay, was there anybody hanging around the tent at that point in time? Well, no. Okay, so then that means you are the only one standing near the rounds where there happened to be a live round stuck in there. That eliminates the possibility of anyone else being in the area. So just saying, hey, did you see anybody around there? Your answers are either no, which means you were the only one standing there. I don't know means you're not paying attention to what's going on around you as a prop master, or yes, which means, hey, they're in on it too.
So pretty much all of Alec's stuff was already on him.
Just the gear that would hold things. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Did you ever handle Alec's gun after lunch?
No.
Do you know which gun was his?
Yes.
Can you describe it to me?
It was like our other Colts. It's just it had a 7.5-inch barrel, so it was a lot more distinguished just because it was longer.
Okay.
It looked like the U.S. Marshals, but it just didn't have the same engraving on it.
Okay. What color was it?
It was. This is a weird way to describe it, but you know, like how oil looks in the sun, like on the ground, like that multicolor.
Oh yeah.
It kind of looks like that.
So his gun was purple
Okay.
and blue and red and
If
prismatic.
it's darker, it's more black, but you can still see some color in there.
What about, do they all have wood handles?
Yes.
You remember what color his was?
Brown.
Okay. Did it look like there was any movement of the cart after lunch?
No.
Did it look like anything had moved on it? Okay. Can you recall the setup of the cart and what was on it?
I mean, like when we got there, or
No, what was the setup of the cart when you weren't there, dumbass? Of course she's asking when you were there, because when you're not there, you don't know what the setup of the cart is.
I saw Hannah's bag on the bottom. I had a couple of miscellaneous items like my gloves and an old headset that we had. I think our what's it called? Our preliminary call sheet for the next day on it.
How many boxes of ammo are on the top?
I don't remember how many.
Did you say more than one?
I would say more than one, but I'm not sure because I can only recall that box that I looked at after the incident.
That's a great. That's pretty great when your prop master can't tell you how many boxes of unsecured ammunition are on a cart and left unattended during lunch.
Okay. But you loaded a gun.
Mm-hmm.
So
From gun belts. I took some out of their cartridges.
What?
so you loaded.
Wait,
I
what?
took some out of their.
Wait. What? She touched them?
So
From gun belts. I took some out of their cartridges.
you
See, she says that doesn't make any sense. She took some of the rounds out of the cartridges. What the fuck does that even mean? That means nothing. That's word salad. And this is the person who's in charge of props. This is the person who says she's been in a head armorer on another movie. Ugh.
loaded that gun belt ammo, not a box.
No. They were from yeah, we had a gun belt that we took ammo from. It was a miscellaneous gun belt, I believe. And it had like these brassy rounds that I pulled.
Okay, and that's what you loaded Jensen's with. Yeah. All right. So where were you when the shot went off?
I was outside the church.
About
We're
where?
next to my cart.
You were at the cart. Okay. Can you tell me what you remember at that point?
Just like when it went off.
Yeah.
I was standing next to the cart with Nicole. We were probably talking, and
See these answers. We were probably talking. We usually do this. We would have done that. She doesn't know what the hell's going on.
I heard the shot go off, and
I mean, were you talking when you heard a gun go off, or were you not talking when you heard a gun go off?
I heard Joel scream. I didn't know they were even rehearsing anything. No one did. Dave didn't call it. I was kind of just out loud asking what was that, and I was just, asking if it was a gun. People thought it was a special effects popper. They said no, it was Alec's gun. I didn't know Alec even had his gun yet. I thought Hannah might have still had it.
Again, the prop master doesn't know if Alec Baldwin has one of his deadly props. But if I recall correctly, and I wonder if it'll be mentioned anytime here, if I recall correctly, Hannah said that she told Sarah here to go get the gun and hand it to Alex. That's what I recall. I might be wrong. But if that's the case, if my recollection is correct, one of these two is lying.
And I ran over to Jensen, and because he was tearing inside the church. We were around like right here. And I looked at him, and I saw Joel on the ground clutching his shoulder. I didn't know Helena was hit. I didn't even see her. And Jensen told me to grab all the guns or to secure them. And I did that, put them in their socks. I ran back. And I made a phone call to Seth at one point, told him what happened, and I saw But when the gunshot went off, that's when I all of a sudden saw Hannah in front of it. She turned around and she said, "This wasn't supposed to happen. My whole career is ruined." And then
She did say that.
And then the next time I saw her, she was checking the gun with Dave, next to the church, on this side of the church. And then she was having a meltdown, and the production designer was clutching.
Everybody involved in this shit is so weirdly unemotional and unconcerned that a bullet literally went through the torso of a woman the wrong way, went through into her right armpit and out the left side of her back, and went into the shoulder of another dude. And they're all like, "Yeah, she was having a meltdown." Hannah, she was like, "Yeah, everybody's just chilling, and we thought it was this." And Seth is like, "Oh yeah, she was all up in my grill about shit." Everybody's just like, "Okay, yeah, we were standing around watching some woman die. She was bleeding out. Yeah, that was pretty." And then the other people are freaking out about it, ruining my whole fucking day because someone has to get shot. Just this weirdly unemotional, unconcerned vibe that everybody, including Alec, is giving off is just really, really weird to me. I mean, they don't need to be in hysterics, but I don't know how I want them to act, but they're all acting in this really weird, detached way.
Onto her, I went over to her. She showed me the rounds, and she said, "I swear I checked."
You went over to who?
Matthew Giannotti, these are 44 caliber Colts, I believe. 44, 45
rounds, and she said, "I saw them." And she had all 6 rounds in her hand, and I saw that one of them didn't have the lead wadding on top. And so I took that and I went over to the cart because I had a suspicion of what happened.
Whoa. Okay, this is interesting. Hannah goes, here's the rounds that were in here. And one of them's discharged. And Sarah now says she had a suspicion of what may have happened. This is like literally 6 seconds after someone's been shot, and you have a suspicion of what may have happened. Having a suspicion that quickly is pretty suspicious as far as I'm concerned.
Or not what happened, but just, like to see if there was any other live rounds from the box that she pulled. And so I started shaking the rounds, and I found a few more in it.
Okay. So she handed you these.
No, I took the casing without the lead wadding.
Okay. So what happened with the other ones?
I thought Hannah had them.
Okay. Did you see where she put them?
No.
So you only took the one out of...
Just the one that didn't have the lead wadding.
Why did you only take the one?
Because I just grabbed that one to go compare it to the rest.
Okay.
And I saw that it had a silver primer, and then I saw in the box that it was a bunch of mixed primers, and that the other silver primers, I think, from what I remember, it.
Okay, now she to me is suddenly as suspicious as hell right now. Why is she suspicious to me? She has demonstrated over we're 1 hour and 23 minutes into her interview. During the first at least hour, she was saying how she doesn't know this about guns. She doesn't know that about guns. She had to be shown how to do this. She didn't know anything. But now suddenly she says, "Oh, I was noticing these were nickel primers, and these primers were over here. So as soon as I heard this gunshot go off, I thought that there may have been some live ammunition. So I took that and I went to investigate to see if there were other these nickel plated or these nickel primers." I mean, now suddenly she knows way too much, and she's looking for way too specific shit instantly after the shooting. This is weird. I mean, after the shooting, the first instinct should be going, "Okay, what the hell? Secure the scene. Oh hell, why don't we try to help the bleeding person? I'm the prop master. Holy crap! Everybody, police your props. Bring them over here." And now she's suddenly, "Aha! Let me see that discharged round. Oh, it looks this way. I'm going to go into the box of ammunition that we took this from and look for others like it." Yeah, even her lawyer's like, "Fuck." Like, yeah, this is weird. that now suddenly she knows all about ballistics. She knows all about the rounds. She knows all about the casing. She knows all about this shit. And she had a suspicion. This is weird. This is just weird. Okay, I'll let it go. I just find that to be really, really weird that she doesn't seem to know a thing about weapons and the ammunition of the rounds. And now suddenly she's all like Inspector Gadget.
They were live rounds too,
Okay. And how do you know that?
because they didn't rattle.
And where did you put them after you checked them?
I put them back in the box.
In the box?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, and again, conspiracy theory, like a shitty guy side of me says that story. I felt all of the live round, and this is again totally groundless, totally based on literally nothing. This is just an evil genius scenario that I'm weaving for her, which I know she's not a genius. She knows her fingerprints are on the live rounds because she put them there, maybe. And so as soon as it goes off, she's like, oh, give me that. I need to put my fingerprints on the one that just came out of Alec Baldwin's gun. Oh, and let me run over here and touch every one of the other live rounds in the box to make sure my fingerprints are on those. So when I tell this story, they can go, aha, that's why her fingerprints were on there. Not because she put them in there, but because she checked them later. Again, that's deep dark me coming out of nowhere, just playing the absolute lowest level of devil's advocate, but it doesn't not make sense.
And you didn't see what Hannah did with those other 5, but you counted 6.
Yes.
Okay. Did you see what happened with the gun after?
No. I thought Hannah still had it, but I don't. Or maybe we took it. I don't remember what happened with it. It was we either took it. I don't remember taking it.
Okay. So what happened with all the other 9 guns?
They got put back in the safe. I was originally carrying it back with Nicole and our art director, Daniel. He was helping us because Hannah was off on, with Brian, and halfway over, Brian called me and asked me if I could get Hannah's, her penny pack. And so
Why?
Nicole and Daniel took the rest of the guns that I had, put it back in the safe, and I took her fanny pack over to her.
Okay.
She was somewhere down in the town.
Who?
Hannah.
Okay. At what point did you take all those guns down?
Like 15 minutes after the accident, ambulance and everybody was already there. But I don't recall after the incident.
Okay. But it was after you had.
After
Was
I
it-
had checked the box, yeah.
Okay. So where were all these guns at that point?
They were all still in the crate. They were just in their socks.
On the top or bottom?
Both.
Okay. So they're kind of spread out all over that cart.
Yeah.
Okay. And you took every single gun?
From what I remember, yes.
Okay. Did you watch Hannah transport that gun into the church?
I saw her walk with it when she told me that she was going to check it with Dave.
Okay.
But that was it. I never saw her until after the incident after that.
Okay. Did anybody else have possession of that gun?
Not that I'm aware of. I had heard about this weird handoff that happened while I was down at the prop truck.
Weird
When did you hear
handoff.
that?
Well,
This is, you heard this after the incident.
yeah, this is what I heard after the incident. A few days later was that Hannah brought the gun back to Nicole and asked her to hand it off to Alec. Nicole didn't know if it was checked or what was loaded in it, so she put it on the cart. And then I also heard that Dave grabbed it off the cart.
And again, this is indicative of all of the problems running through this entire scenario, which, I mean, everyone involved in this story is negligent. Whether it rises to the level of criminal negligence is something that's going to have to be seen. But it's from the one friend I have that's involved in this type of stuff in Hollywood land is if Hannah gives a weapon to Nicole, Nicole's job is to open it, check out every single round in there before she puts it anywhere or gives it to anyone else. But instead, apparently that didn't happen, according to what she heard. Nicole gets it, doesn't check it, sets it down on somewhere for a while, leaves it unattended, does all this other shit. There's just no protocols that are followed. I don't even know if there's any protocols, but if there are protocols, they're not being followed. And it's just this entire carefree amateur hour thing that's going on through this whole thing, which is why we're all sitting here and there's a woman dead.
So I don't know what happened.
But you saw Hannah walk in with him.
Yes.
Okay. And did you watch them do the safety check together?
No, because I was on my way to the prop truck.
Okay.
So she doesn't know if they did the safety check or not. But while we are here, Brendan, let's go. I like to dissect girls. You know, I'm utterly insane. Okay. Thank you for the super chat, as always. Muchly appreciated. Lauren says, I'm just curious to what would there be to gain if this was a setup? Okay, in my little scenario setup, what's to be gained is I think Seth and Sarah here are knocking boots. They're doing a little banging, smashing each other. They've done films together before. They didn't like Hannah. They wanted Hannah to get fired. So I don't believe that there was any intention to kill anyone. Whoever did it, whether it was the disgruntled workers that walked off, whether it was Seth, whether it was her, whether it was a combination of any of those or somebody else, I think in the conspiracy side of my brain says that I think someone put the live rounds in there so there would be an accidental shooting and someone would go, holy fuck, that was a live round. This armorer is in charge of this. She needs to be fired because there's live rounds scattered all around the set here. That's what you have to gain. You get someone fired that is giving your girlfriend or giving yourself or causing safety problems some grief. So there's something personal to gain from any of these scenarios that I see. And Digger 420, you said that your theory is a good one. Helena was about to start a new project that would have blown Hollywood to bits. I don't believe myself personally that there was any intention to. It wasn't like I don't think there was any secret plot to carry out a hit on Helena. I think it was just a bunch of ignorant people messing around with shit they didn't know how to handle. They didn't have rules and regulations and protocols for doing it. They got lazy. People got dead.
Did you see Hannah do any check with that gun?
No.
And who brought it out of the church after the incident?
I'm not sure. The next time I saw it, I just saw Hannah and Dave off on the side of the church checking it.
Okay. Can you describe what each of those rounds looked like when Hannah was showing you?
They were a little more. They were not. I don't remember them being that brassy. They looked a little aged. And I saw 5 of them with the wadding on top, and then one that didn't.
Okay.
When you say wadding, do you mean
Projectile.
the projectile?
But it's not supposed to be a projectile because it's supposed to be in there.
So you got.
I saw wadding. Wadding's a projectile, but it's not supposed to be a projectile because it's supposed to be inside. Come on now. This one doesn't even know what things are. And again, there's the types of blank rounds. There's basically 2 kinds of blank rounds, not dummies, blanks. One has the end, it's loaded with gunpowder, and the ends are crimped to a point. So when the gunpowder goes off, it goes bang. The crimped ends expand, makes a loud noise, makes some smoke coming out of the end of the barrel. Yay, we've got our shot. The other one is it's not crimped, but it's packed with something at the end, whether it's plastic or cloth or something, and that's at the end of the round. So when the gunpowder that's inside goes bang, the wadding, as it's called, will come a little bit out. Just the force will push it out of the gun. But that is some old school ammo if they're using that. If they're using the blanks that had the wadding on the ends, that is seriously old. That started to go out of fashion about the time that Brandon Lee got killed on the set of Crow. But she doesn't even know. It's like the wadding is a projectile, but it's not supposed to be a projectile because it's supposed to stay. Yeah, I mean, just the language they're using says they don't have any goddamn idea what they're doing, and this is how people end up dead.
You guys called that wadding because this is not a projectile, because it's a dummy round. Okay.
Yeah, and I mean they're all iron caps on them, so
Gotcha. Thank you.
they're all the same product. It's not like you could put them on a live round and they would still be a projectile that was fully functioning.
Gotcha.
Just if they had gunpowder.
Right.
Okay.
You know, and this is more all the rumors that are flying around. Target shooting on set was live ammo.
I haven't heard that. I mean, I have heard it, but I never witnessed anything like that. No one said anything. I just was sent a text message from another prop master in town who had heard that she and other people were targeted.
She being him.
Yeah, him.
Was this after the incident that you heard that though?
Yeah, I can't remember if it was like midnight when I received that text, and it was either the night of the incident or the night after. I don't know which one.
Okay, but nothing prior.
No.
To your knowledge, were those guns ever moved out or taken out or anything of the sort? I mean, there's 3 of you with the code to
Yeah.
save.
No, not that I'm aware of. I mean, there was, and I'm just wondering if people are talking about when Alec was practicing or with the guns when she was training him. That's the only time I know when she wasn't on set during filming and she was off training him.
But
The
not
keypad is an electronic keypad, right?
Yeah.
And so, any chance that electronic keypad has been removed by you guys to see if you can determine?
it's not like that fancy of a safe.
It's not going to keep a record of how many times.
It's not that.
I mean,
Now, chat, correct me if I'm wrong, but did she just say that she, Hannah, and Seth were the only people that had the combination to that lock? Did I hear that right? That Seth had the combination to the lock? I don't want to have to go back and listen to that again, but someone let me know if that's what she said. Did anybody hear that? Okay, Marianne Nizzle, she said, okay, now what do we got here? Trevor says, not sure. It was Seth props, I believe, so it makes sense. Seth had it too. Okay, well, see, this raises the question. Either the locker was Seth's, either the gun locker was Seth's, so therefore he had the key. He had the code. Or there's some seriously shitty, funny business going on because Seth said that that was the first time he'd ever been on set was around the time of the shooting. So if he'd never been on set and that wasn't his safe, how the hell would he know the combination to it? Okay, so I have the question. Was that safe owned by Seth?
and the only other time you could hear gunshots outside of filming was like the National Guard, is what we were told, because we all heard a bunch of shooting.
Okay. But Hannah never like told you, hey, I'm gonna go out this weekend and takes a couple people out and, you know.
We have a text that you need to know about.
No, yeah. When I had heard about this, and I talked to Seth, he sent me a text that he had from Hannah back in August.
On a previous set about her asking to go.
Okay, so you already have it. Never mind.
Just want to be transparent. Okay?
Yeah, but nothing from Rust.
No.
Okay, that's more, you know, the concern. So it's after you check these rounds that everything was taken back then,
Yes,
and it was after EMT and everybody else got there.
2.
And which 2 were they?
Jensen and Swen.
Okay, and they're both the Marshall ones.
Yes.
Okay, were they both loaded?
With dummies, yes.
Did you unload them before?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, where did you put those dummy rounds?
Mhm.
Okay. Those ones I actually did end up throwing away in a panic, and I wouldn't be able to tell you why.
Okay. Did you throw them on set or after?
On set.
Okay, just in the trash?
Yeah.
Okay.
That ain't good. That ain't good. Let's listen to that little bit again. That ain't good at all. Yeah, that's less than ideal.
Um,
Okay. Those ones I actually did end up
they both loaded.
Jensen and Swen.
Okay, and they're both the Marshall ones.
Yes.
Okay, were they both loaded?
With dummies, yes.
Did you unload them before?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, where did you put those dummy rounds?
This is a bad sign right here. We said, okay, you had these dummy rounds in your hand. What did you do with the dummy rounds? And the suspect looks at her lawyer like, what the fuck do I say? Holy Christ, help me out here, buddy. That's a bad sign. This right here is a really bad sign when asked, what did you do with the dummy rounds?
Yeah, where did you put those dummy rounds?
I don't know what she says. I forgot to turn on these subtitles, by the way. I know you guys like the subtitles. So let's see if the useless subtitles can help us out.
Did you unload them before?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, where did you put those dummy rounds?
Okay. Those ones I actually did end up throwing away in a panic. And
she threw them away in a panic. She threw dummy rounds away in a panic. But yet, I mean, if I was panicking, I would go through and like she did. You said, "Oh, I went in through and I dug through and I got all the. I saw there was lots of live ammunition. I would be if I was going to be a fuckwit and throw some evidence away. I would throw the live ammo away to go. We have no clue how that got in here. Not just throw 2 random dummy rounds away, but wow, throwing away evidence or potential evidence is a really, really bad thing. That's not good. That is really, really not good. Brandon, let's go. Thank you. Isn't Baldwin still the chief? And the pass and committing the ultimate act of laziness and neglect. Lock them all up, but he should go too. Alec could go down for a lot of reasons. One, as the last idiot to have the gun in his hand when it went off, therefore being responsible for it. And also as being the producer of the film, and that's his production company. So that could be a bad situation for him too. I would be surprised if Alec Baldwin escaped completely from this. And also, you've asked, thank you again for another one. When can the lawyer just shut this thing down? Well, they have, as long as they have questions, they can keep asking them. His job basically is to make sure that her constitutional rights aren't violated, and that she knows. He's basically there to clarify the questions and qualify the questions. Other than that, I mean, they get to keep asking. Wow, throwing away ammunition is a bad thing for her. In a panic, even she wasn't in a panic when she went to Hannah, got the casing for the round that had gone off, and went over to the box and was sorting through, looking for the other ones with the silver or the nickel primers. She didn't seem to be panicked then, but then she panics later and throws the dummy rounds away. You're not looking good here. I hope the cop jumps her shit for that. Let's find out.
And I wouldn't be able to tell you why.
Okay.
Wouldn't be able to
did
tell you
throw them
why.
on set or after?
Honestly.
Okay. Just in the trash?
Yeah.
Okay. But you checked those ones?
Yes.
And you pulled them out of the belts? Yes. For both guns?
Yes.
Okay. The box of ammo that was being used to load guns, do you remember what it looked like?
The one that was used for Alec's gun. It was just
Okay, now this is an important question because if you remember, this is this box that all of the ammo that was in Alec Baldwin's gun, that box came mysteriously overnight. It showed up on on one of Hannah's bags where she kept other rounds, I guess. It just showed up there randomly out of nowhere with like a sticker that said dummies on it in a type font they didn't know, and they just sort of started loading up weapons with this.
standard white box.
Have any distinguishing markings? Did it say anything on it?
When I saw it, I didn't see the label. Nicole described the label to me after a few days later from what she saw, but I think it was on the bottom side when I was looking at it because I didn't see it.
On the bottom?
Like on the, when it's laying down, like I see the top side, but I think it might have been on
Like when the lid is taken off and the lid is laid down.
yeah, or like on, I don't know where it was. It was
Well,
either
how
on
did
the
you?
Michael Ustuzian,
So, I mean,
if we
but
believe
you
Hannah's
opened the
accounting of
box
the
and
box,
it
well,
opened.
that's why she's asking the
but
question
I slid out the
to
cartridge.
corroborate
Yeah, so it's
or
not a top loading box.
to find
It's on the side, yeah.
a conflict in the statements.
The label could have been on the lip, on the bottom side, or on the back end of it. But
Right.
I didn't look.
Okay. Okay. Is there anyone that would have seen Hannah load that gun?
I don't know.
Who would have been the possible people who would have seen her with that gun? In your ashes. Nicole?
Maybe Nicole, maybe someone inside the church. I don't know when she loaded it.
Good question then. Would she take the rounds and load them in the church, or would she load the gun at the property?
She could have done either or.
Okay. But you didn't see her.
No.
All right. Let's go through these. Do you remember how many boxes were on the top of that cart?
I don't.
Okay, but how many? I mean, you went through one box, right? Just after the
Yeah.
incident?
Yeah.
Were there any others? How did you know to go through that box?
Yes.
Hannah had used because she specifically asked Nicole.
Now we're asking the question. Now we're at that. How did you know to go through that box and look for other live rounds?
For that box, I saw they set the box right there.
Okay. So this is the one that was handed.
Okay.
Would you say it looks like what you saw?
I mean, the label, no, but that's the label that Nicole described to me.
Okay.
But yeah,
But as far as setup, because this, I mean, it's pretty distinguishable when you have random ones missing out of places.
it There should be
Mhm.
a couple more from what I remember. There was a couple more with silver primers.
Okay. And you pulled them out, but where did you put them back in here? Or where did they go after you?
I should have put them back on there, or
She didn't ask. She didn't say, should you have put them back there? She asked you, did you put them back there? Did you put them back there? Well, I should have put them back there. Well, did you or did you not? And that's a valid question because you've already just admitted to throwing away 2 other rounds. Perhaps you threw away some other live ammunition. You're getting backed up into a corner here, lady.
I didn't. I might have just left them on the cart.
Okay. So here's another view of that box.
Is there a reason why these ones are missing?
Ooh,
That's the one he'd ask you.
Okay.
ooh,
Is there a reason why these ones are missing?
ooh, I like that. So there are, she has photos of some rounds missing from the box. Ooh, it's getting intriguing now. We're getting into some serious mysterious shit here. There's rounds missing from the box. And watch something really, really, really telling. I mean, it's important, but I don't know why it's important. But Sarah's reaction to this question. Watch this. Watch Sarah's face when she says, "Why are these 2 missing? Why, well, why are these missing?" I don't know if she said 2, but why are these missing? Watch Sarah's reaction. That was interesting.
View of that box.
Is there a reason why these ones are missing?
Did you see her eyes like snap up? Is there any reason why these are missing? That was like a holy fuck thing. That was like a that was an involuntary reaction right there. That wasn't a, no, I don't know why they're missing. That was like a oh fuck, what do I do? That eye flicked there. Her eyes flicked up instantly.
Of that box.
Is there a reason why these ones are missing?
Wow. That is like a that again, the conspiracy side of my brain may be reading a lot into this, but that is a gee, mom, I really have a logical explanation for why I'm standing on the counter with my hand in the cookie jar on top of the refrigerator. Just give me a fucking second to think of it. I mean, that is a hand caught in the cookie jar eye snap there. Cool.
Of that box.
Is there a reason why these ones are missing?
Even the lawyer's head snapped up. Even the lawyer's head snapped up real quick. Oh my God, I can't get past this. I want to hear what the answer is. Holy shit.
So here's another view of that box.
Is there a reason why these ones are missing?
This is awesome. I wonder what all this means. But yeah, her head snaps up. Lawyer goes, "Holy fuck!" She didn't answer that quickly, and then he's like, "This better be good. This better be good, bitch. We're in some serious shit here." Nice. Look at the lawyer. Look at her like, "All right. Explain."
Why these ones are missing?
I snap 1, I snap 2, head turn, boom.
That's the one he'd ask you.
Okay.
Yeah, and she's like, "Well, I don't know." Well, that's what I'm fucking here to ask you.
You have been pulling out to check out of here.
Mhm.
Did you pull them all individually? Like, do you remember which ones were missing?
I never pulled past like this point.
Okay. Did you take the whole thing out though?
No, I only slid it, at that point, and I checked random ones.
Okay. So these could have been out.
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Wow. See, this is Sarah not doing herself any favors here. I took the bullet from Hannah. I took the casing from Hannah. I ran over to the box. I opened the box. I looked for the other things with the silver primers. Oh, I saw there was some live ammunition in there. And then a panic. I took 2 other dummy rounds and threw them in. Well, how come these are missing? I don't know why they're missing. Well, you were the one that were fucking pulling the bullets out of the box to look at them. So where'd they go? Yeah, so nice. All right, and now she's just flubbed. See, the cops got the answer already. We don't know what's going on in her head, but it's probably like something. Okay, she knows what's going on here.
So these are on the top of the cart.
Okay. And then what caliber is this?
They're 45 Colts.
Or 45. Okay. So then those could have been the couple that I might have not put back in then. Could have been there.
Okay. Because they also have, these are suspected life.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that would make sense because I saw about this amount and thought they were live.
3 total.
3 or 4.
Were they?
Probably including the one that was spent.
Were they? She said there was 6. Were they 3? Were there 4? Were there
and you got
6?
this one on the top of the cart too.
Yeah, I should have left it there.
Okay. This isn't a belt.
Whose fault is this?
It was on the top of the cart. Also a suspected live round.
Was it checked, like rattled or anything?
Mhm.
And it didn't rattle? No hole in the side? It's a 45?
Never mind.
45 Colt.
She never pulled from a 45 until that box because we didn't have any initially. And then she found some, and then Seth gave us 1 box.
But you were pulling from belts, right?
I wasn't pulling, well, yeah, but the ones that I pulled from already had indents.
Okay.
I wasn't pulling. Yeah, she's flustered now. She's flustered.
These are those 2. So one of these is a dummy, but
Do you know which
2 of
one?
these are, I don't know. I think these 2 are the suspected live.
See, here she's like, oh, I know which rounds are which rounds are which. She's like, well, can you look at these and tell me which ones are the dummies? Well, I'm not sure. She doesn't know anything.
And then that one is a dummy, but that's what I'm saying. You remember where you put these rounds?
These ones?
The live ones that came out of that box. This is the top of the cart.
I either put them back on the box or I left them on the cart.
Did you put them in
She's
the?
saying if you left them on the cart, would you have left them together? Or
Yeah, after I checked the box.
If I did something with them, I would have done A or I would have done B. Well, which was it? Did you do A or did you do B? Even lawyers like, well, okay, if you did B, then would you?
so you're saying you checked the box. You mind? And you think you found a couple of live rounds. Pull them out, you freaked, threw them on the cart. Maybe, or you put them back in the box. You can't remember.
No, I can't remember. It's one of those. So that's Alex.
One of these is suspected live
In his belt?
in his belt.
Who wanted his belt?
Hannah.
What caliber is it? It's 45 Colt.
I don't get it. She said that we didn't have 45s. And we unloaded his belt beforehand, but she said that we didn't have any, and that's why she wanted more. Or why she wanted.
Well, there's a lot of 45 Colt.
Yeah, why would she think there was no 45 Colt? That's what was in Alex's gun. That's what's all over the place. Sarah's doing herself like negative favors at this point. Midstream rant here. Hey, if you haven't already done so, those of you that are hanging out here, all 392 of you, please do me a favor and reach on over there and hit that like button. We've got 246 likes. I like to try to get up to about 600 likes a stream. So do your part. Hit that like button for me. That would be a big favor. And if you haven't already subscribed and you've watched this for more than about 5 minutes, that means you like the content. So I think you should subscribe to my channel. And we'll do this. We're going to be doing some more of it tomorrow. Same thing, more Alec Baldwin shooting, but the assistant director. I would deeply appreciate that. It gets the word out to YouTube that we're something interesting, and they should be recommending us, and that helps the channel grow. Back to your regularly scheduled interrogation.
As far as I know, we only had 2, so I don't know how 2 boxes. But, well, the first one, the one that was pulled from, I didn't know we had, she randomly found, but then there was the other one from Seth Kenny, but I don't even know if she knew about that box.
What do you mean randomly found?
That morning, she says she found a box of 45 long cold dummies on the safe, and she, was shocked and was like, wow, 45 long colds, and that's what she told me. And so she was pretty happy about that, and then told Nicole later to go get it from the country.
Okay. Have you seen that box before? This was another, and I believe this one was a suspected bribe. We think it's separated.
These all came from this box?
Mm-hmm.
Well, this matches the box that Seth described that put gaffer's tape and wrote on the Sharpie.
I wish I was drunk. Thank you so much for the donation.
They're everywhere.
Liked. Thank you. Also, how are we? Doing great.
They're in that box. There's one in another box. Like I said, there's those ones on the carts. There's ones in belts. I think we have 7 total.
Okay. 7 live rounds that are scattered all over the set, basically. Somebody done fucked up, or somebody did it intentionally.
Don't take my word, but I think about 7 total. Okay. Really significance in this. They're just, these are all just thrown in a bag. So
In a bag?
in one of those bags that she had on the pot truck.
Oh, okay.
This was your guys' cart.
Whose bag is it?
And
That's
this fanny
nice.
pack.
Okay, is it one of the fanny packs you're talking about? And she carried rounds in there?
Yep.
So this is what gets me is you said you took all these guns back.
Oh, biatch. This is what gets me. Is not something you want to hear your interrogating police officer say to you when she starts her sentence. The thing that gets me about this, that means shit is just about to get real. Cherry and Max, thank you so much for your donation here. Her attorney compared to Hannah's is like gold to rust. Yeah, her lawyer is doing a much better job than Hannah's lawyer did. So if you're ever going to be interrogated by a policeman, if you're ever going to be questioned by a policeman, if you're ever talked to by a policeman, shut the fuck up. If you do have to answer, get a lawyer. Get a criminal lawyer. Get a criminal lawyer who is experienced in dealing with police interrogations. You'll thank yourself for it later. All right, let's see what's got the cop's goat here. Let's see what what bothers her. What bothers Officer Friendly here? What gets her? The thing that gets me is
In there?
Yeah.
So this is what gets me is you said you took all these guns back.
That's our replica.
But you said you took them all back, right?
Yeah. She said after the shooting, they took all the guns and gathered them up. And she's saying, well, that really bothers me because here's a picture of a fucking gun. Oh, that's a replica. Well, you said you collected them all. What's going on here? So, yep. Sarah. Sarah, you ain't doing yourself any favors here. Yeah, we gathered up all the guns. Well, here's a gun that wasn't gathered up. Busted.
I must have missed this one.
Must have missed this one. Jesus Christ on a pony. Must have missed this gun. Replica or not. That's not a gun. That's a replica. Yeah, or you must have missed that one. Yeah. Yeah, if you're looking to be found negligent, if you're looking to be found negligent, criminally negligent, say things like, I'm in charge of all of the props on set. We gathered up all of the guns. Yes, we got all the guns. Of course, we got all the guns. Oops, except for that one. The best way to be found negligent in a situation like this is to leave guns laying around and then say that you collected them.
I took all the real guns back at least.
Okay.
Do you know what was in the EPS box?
That's where I had my badges for my actors.
Okay. Like these, like, where is it? These little.
And who's water ball?
I don't think the water bottle killed anybody, lawyer.
I think that's a call sheet.
Call sheet, right?
And then, every day not this matters, but every day our crafty guy would come around with chocolate, and that's what I just grabbed right before the incident.
She doesn't remember where the fucking guns are, but she sure as
That
shit knows
is
where the
the
chocolate
case
came
that
from.
has our knife kit, so it has a bunch of replicated knives for Alec.
And what's that?
That's another box now. This says
12 gauge.
12 gauge.
These are people found clothes.
No, those are canvas.
Socks.
No, it's torn up canvas that we had used the day before to use as like a blanket for Alec to throw his gun down.
Okay. And he was supposed to do that.
Yes.
Well, that's why they're saying that people throw guns.
Can I see another question record here? I don't mean to get
Yeah,
rid of your question.
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No, please ask questions because you're helping your client and she's not answering correctly. Again, I don't know if this means she
So,
did
yeah,
something
Just taking of this.
or
you
if
see
it
what
just
the belt
means
that was on there.
she had no clue what was going
You
on.
got 1, 2 missing. You have 1, 2, 3,
There
4.
was two belts on.
Yeah, that's not the same one. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's 2. There's a belt here and there's a belt there. So that belt is that belt, not that belt, because you need 4 rounds there, not 3.
So I guess tell me about this mysterious box that showed up. How many boxes did you guys have before? The dummies.
I don't know how many we had. It would be on the invoice. But I know that Hannah was complaining that we didn't have any 45 long Colts and she needed more dummies. So I think it was on October 12th is when I picked up from Seth.
Do you remember what that box looked like?
It was another white cardboard box.
Okay.
He didn't give us much. He gave us extra half loads.
I'll give you a half
and
load,
then-
Sarah.
I didn't remember or know that he gave us a box of 45 long Colts. And then he told me afterwards, he was like, remember I gave you this and this is how I remember that I gave you this. And then
So that could have been from her.
Oh, that doesn't sound very much like get our story straight. Remember when I told you this? Remember? Because I remember telling you, remember when I told you this is what we did? Yeah, it sounds got a dog over here licking the floor. There we go.
I mean, it doesn't match the description of the one that Hannah used doesn't match the description that Seth gave me. His was the one with the gaffer's tape that was written in Sharpie.
But he provided more than one box.
Or not of dummies. He provided the half loaded blanks.
But
And
didn't you have to go back for dummies?
I went to, so he gave me one, but then I went to Billy Ray for dummies. Those like 2 or 3 boxes I told you about.
Okay. And those were all 45 long Colt.
No, they were 44 40s.
Okay.
And 38 40s.
38 40s?
So
So
no
it was-
45 long Colt.
At all. Not
Not
that
on the
I
invoice.
recall.
Then you have it.
Okay, you sent it to me.
This is the safe.
Yeah, that's the safe. And then this is the truck that you guys use. Did you mostly go in and out the back or the side?
Mostly.
And is this pretty much how it was the whole time that you guys?
No, I mean, things got moved around a lot. It was a lot more organized, but as we were
Trevor Goik,
running around.
I had the same
things
thoughts.
got-
That's because you're smart.
Okay. But you always lock the guns up in the safe.
Yes.
So
You always lock the guns up in the safe, right? Right. Except for that one over there on the table that you seem to have missed, right?
Hannah had that out the day of.
the day of what?
The day of the incident. Something didn't fit. She said it was okay if one stayed out.
What do you mean something didn't? Like it didn't fit in the safe?
Yeah,
Or-
like it fit in the safe. It's just we had so many guns in here that
What? Do you lock them all up in the safe? Yes. Except for one. Why? One. Because she said it was okay to leave one gun out of the safe because there's no room. Well, no, there was room. It goes from we locked them all up into the safe into well, we could leave one out even though there was room for it in the safe. This is borderline word salad here. This is just someone who has no idea. This to me, this sounds like someone who has fucked up, knows they're about to get caught, and are just desperately spewing words out of their pie hole to either buy themselves some time to think of something rational to say, or because they really don't know what to say.
stayed out.
What do you mean something didn't? Like it didn't fit in the safe?
Yeah,
Or-
like it fit in the safe. It's just we had so many guns in here that we had to take one out, and she said that it was okay to have one out. I didn't question her because she was more experienced than I was in armor.
Okay. I mean, I would say that's not safe practice. And, you know, there's another picture of it.
Sarah's starting to sag in her chair a little bit. She looks a little defeated.
When was this taken? After?
Yeah. So how do you think
Is that
these?
gun belt?
I believe so. Maybe. This is where you guys would hang all of them? Yeah, okay. So, I mean, how do you think these got in this?
Myself, I don't know. When I talked to Nicole afterwards, she said that it was stacked in like along with other boxes inside one of the white boxes. So, but
That you
So it was stacked in the white box with boxes in the white box. So, and I, my dog stepped on a bee. This is just weird shit coming out of her mouth.
afterwards, she said that it was stacked in like along with other boxes inside one of the white boxes. So, but
that you originally picked up? Or
I mean, it could have been the one. It sounds like it came from because she picked it up on.
What the fuck is she saying? Jesus Christ. Someone here in the chat, please interpret this for me. Please translate this for me. I don't know what fuck language she's talking, but everything she said for the last 30 minutes literally make no damn sense to me. Someone please tell me what she's saying. I mean, fuck me. How far back to this do we go? Yeah. Let's just go back to this. Even before this, she wasn't making sense. But someone please tell me what this next 30 seconds of conversation means, because I don't know.
This is where you guys would hang all of them? Yeah. Okay.
Literally, what the fuck does this mean that's going to come spewing out of her mouth here in a second?
So, I mean, how do you think these got in this?
Okay, explain.
When I talked to Nicole afterwards, she said that it was stacked in, like, along with other boxes inside one of the white boxes. So, but
That you originally picked up? Or,
I mean, it could have been the one. It sounds like it came from, because she picked it up on the left side of the safe.
The fuck are you talking about?
Were the initial ones that Hannah got from, said when she went with me, she took the ammo and I took the guns. And then the other box that I picked up, that right side of the safe, was the one I picked up later.
Did that? I know I'm old now, but did that make any sense? Now, Rev 68 says, holy fuck, she's lying. How do you know she's lying? You have to know what the fuck she's saying in the first place before you know whether or not she's lying. I don't know what she said in the first place. Well, I know what she said, but I don't know what it means. I don't know what she's what thought she is trying to convey during all of that. So I don't know if she's lying. What does that even mean? This is just someone who's like, holy fuck, she's one of those people that she can't talk about one thing while her brain is trying to process something else. Those are the people that they can be saying shit at the same time they're thinking different shit, so they can kind of ad lib a little bit until their brain processes the story. She does not have that ability. Her brain is working and her mouth is just moving and air is escaping. Noises are coming out of her mouth. Wow. If anybody knows what that meant, please do me a favor and let me know, because I'm at a loss.
There should have been two on the left side and one on the right side. But it's just kind of weird to me because Hannah said she got it in the safe, but then Nicole found the box stacked inside the white cardboard box. So.
but she said that she pulled it from the truck. Nicole.
Mhm.
And this was after Hannah told her to go get it.
Yeah, she said there's a box of 45 monocols in the truck and wanted Nicole to go get it.
Well, why did she need, I mean, if you guys were pulling from the belts though.
I don't know, she was very specific about what she wanted to use. Like, I personally like using the indented primers because that's how I know that something's been inert.
Again, she has just admitted to her absolute ignorance and lack of knowledge about anything to do with the armory business, even though she already claims to have been the head armorer on a different movie project. And this is something Hannah mentioned, that they tried to use the dummies where the primer had already been dented, because that's the only way she knew. But there's you can rattle it and hear whether it's a dummy round or not. If there's a hole drilled in the side of it, you can know whether it's a dummy or not. But here she's saying, oh yeah, Hannah, she liked to use these with the primers already discharged because that's the only way I can fucking tell out if they're real or not.
And it has already been, used. And when she saw me doing that one time, she didn't like that I did that. She said that she always uses new ones. And so same with the 45 long Colt. She said that the other ones just didn't fit as properly and that she wanted 45 long Colt.
Okay. Did she ever mention any issues she was having with Alec's gun? The day of the incident?
No. Not that I recall. I know she was having trouble with a different gun, but we sent that back to Seth and he fixed it.
Okay. Did you ever see Hannah do anything unsafe or that seemed unsafe with these guns? Did she seem?
I mean, the only thing that I kind of questioned was when she was willing to.
This again, I'm not a body analyst, and I'm not one of these, oh, she was looking up and to the left, which is indicative of telling lies. I'm not one of those guys, these behavior analysts, but when you're talking like this, it usually indicates to me personally that you're full of shit and you're desperately trying to think of something to say.
Thing that I kind of questioned was when she was willing to. I wasn't, around this when it happened, but I remember she was pulling a full load, and I don't know who asked for it, but someone asked.
You asked for the full load, Sarah. You asked for the full load. Admit
to make
it.
It run off after it's stunt motor.
Say hi.
Tell her I'm see her at the wedding. Our daughter's getting married.
For those of you that weren't here last time or don't remember, Sarah's lawyer, his ex-wife, is the lawyer for David, the assistant director that will be watching his interrogation tomorrow. So yeah, his ex-wife is the lawyer for one of the other people that the cops are talking to.
Surreal.
Yeah, when our stunt rider was riding on a horse and he was supposed to get shot, he's supposed to fall off and they wanted the horse to keep going, so she allowed them to use a full load, and I was told to never shoot a full load near a horse.
Odd. My dad told me that same lesson too. Never shoot a full load next to a horse. Just saying.
And that was the only time.
I'm sorry.
Is there
I'm better
anything
than
else
that.
Points out to you if anything that went on.
I mean, there were the accidental discharges that were reported. I mean, at least mine was.
Were there any accidental discharges of a full load near a horse?
There was nothing else that I thought was really unsafe. And Alec and Joel both were telling her she was doing a great job and that they felt safe. So I didn't really question her.
Okay.
I have a few questions.
Yep.
I bet you do. I bet you've got a fuck ton of questions, lawyer.
So those 2 rounds, were they dummies or suspected?
I'd have to go through all the photos,
Those look.
and that's why I'm curious where those other rounds went
Yep.
that were in the gun.
2 rounds.
I bet you are curious where those other 2 rounds went.
Was that
Right,
The same part.
Well, so this one is the spent round.
Yeah.
that's which one?
That's the
That's that one.
That's the round that did it.
Okay.
So that's why, it's kind of you know,
No, I don't know, cop. Tell us.
hard for me to figure out what came where because everything was so messed with after the incident.
Yep. That's a thing, too. We really don't know what's going on here because everybody's fucking with the evidence after it happens.
I apologize about that.
Yeah. If you ever end up in a situation again.
I know, I wasn't.
If you ever end up in this situation again, when you end up in this situation again, yeah, just leave things alone. Yeah, so the crime scene is so fucked up.
Really thinking of this becoming a case at that point in time. It was more just shock and just reacting.
Question. To some degree, each bullet projectile has a signature as it's going through the rifling and stuff. Can you figure out? Can you trace these bullets when these rounds to where they were purchased?
And let me explain why. So, I'm sure you talked to Seth about this, or maybe. Manufactured round is, you know, let's just take for instance, Winchester.
Mhm.
Okay. Winchester has their logo on rounds.
Mhm.
Okay. These, so this logo here
Mhm.
is Starline Brass. That's who makes this, okay?
Okay.
Starline Brass does not make live ammunition at all.
None of their workers could have done something and just like it's malicious or anything like that.
Starline Brass isn't out of New Mexico.
Okay.
So PDQ buys components. That's all they sell is the cartridge. Okay. Starline Brass does not sell anything else.
Okay, now they're looking towards Seth here because Seth got the ammunition, the casings from these people that's all they do. They just make brass. They make the brass casing, not anything else. No gunpowder, no lead on the ends, nothing. They just give you the rounds. Oh, it's getting hot in here. My balance my hat precarious. Oh, now I can see things too.
Besides,
And so now I think she's honing in on Seth here because this company they just supply the empty brass. Seth, on the other hand,
cartridges. And then from there, you can do what you choose with it. If you're a reloader, you can make them. Okay. You'd have to buy, obviously, your projectile and then your gunpowder and your
Right.
and the press.
So
Who buys the Starline Brass?
PDQ.
And it's
PDQ is Seth's company.
That's why you can't buy from them.
So, all right. In New Mexico, the only person that, well, tied to this, PDQ bought what's it called?
Starline.
Starline Brass cartridges. And they would assemble dummy rounds.
They also have
Starline, what is something down here?
No, PDQ.
Oh, PDQ.
Did PDQ also assemble live rounds?
once upon a time.
Live
Well, they
rounds.
could.
Hmm.
I mean, they could still be doing it. I don't know how many employees PDQ has. Did you ever see anybody else in there? Just that. Did you ever see
PDQ,
any reload?
Again, she's saying nope, no one else around, just us.
Loading equipment in there?
I think so.
did you know what it looked like?
No.
That was my question. When she said, I don't think so. Of course, the lawyers asked it better. You know, do you know what one looks like? I was like, well, would you know the damn reloading press from your ass or a hole in the ground?
And they look like animals.
It's like usually set up at the end of a table. And
No, the lawyer can
there's
ask
five
clarifying
handles.
questions.
It's called pressing board.
The lawyer can
More
ask
of an
questions to make sure his
office
client
than
understands the
actual
question to
work.
make sure there's
So PDQ.
specific
do they
answers.
Is PDQ only for props for movies? Or is it also arms sales for me if I want to go buy some live rounds to go target shoot?
Yeah, they don't do like, I mean, I've never been in there, so you've been in there, you know, do they have like shelves of stuff for people to buy?
It seemed more like a private office, and it was always just really messy because he would send stuff to several different productions at a time. He'd be preparing them.
So there could be just stuff everywhere.
You haven't interviewed Seth yet?
A few times.
Did Seth say that he sells?
He doesn't sell, he has had button stuff make ammunition.
Well, that was less than ideal.
Okay, but PDQ, what I'm trying to get to is PDQ. Their
What happened?
business is to provide
There we go.
props for movies.
Mm-hmm.
PDQ doesn't receive revenue from selling live rounds.
No.
Okay, so that's not in their normal course of business.
Right.
They don't have boxes of live rounds for sale. That you know of.
Not that I know of.
Well, and he said that when he gives people ammo that he personally, like when he's boxing them, that he said that he checks each round.
So someone at PDQ produced these live rounds at some point in time.
That's the assumption.
Okay.
Okay, that's an important assumption.
Pretty strong.
Right.
In my line of work.
Yes.
I'm sure Lisa talked about that as well. So what's your theory?
Oh, the cops aren't going to tell you their
Doesn't know how to
theory.
check rounds correctly?
Ha ha. The cops aren't going to tell you their theory of the case just because you ask them. But he knows that. He thinks she's stupid. He thinks she's stupid. That's why he asked this. So what's your theory of the case? And I loved her answer. I loved her answer to that question. Somebody doesn't know how to fucking do their job.
Someone doesn't know how to check rounds correctly
Eh, good answer.
when they're boxing them.
And they're boxing them.
That's it.
Who the hell's Justin?
And it would be somebody doesn't know how to check rounds, they're in the boxes,
Or
somebody doesn't,
they're in a rush, or
they're in a rush, and then the person pulling them out of the box. doesn't-
Or you're hanging around town, or you're not doing anything, or.
A confluence of
people not doing
Paying
what they're
attention.
supposed to do.
Yeah. You think few
And
people weren't paying attention on set?
rounds that you checked though, for all your 6 rounds for Jensen and Swim, you had indented rounds. You're sure of that.
But that's kind of where I'm confused, because if you're pulling out of belts, there'd be a lot more empty spaces in those belts.
Well, I only pulled out about 12, but I know I took some of the belts.
Jesus! Okay. I like the cop. She says she's pulling rounds out of the belts. And the cop's like, well, if you were pulling rounds out of belts, there should have been a lot more missing from the belts. Yes, well, I only took about 12 of them out. I think you'd notice if there was 12 rounds there or missing.
Back to the truck. Well, I'll have to go through the photos of all the belts, but it didn't seem like there was that many that had that many empty spaces in them.
Okay. I mean, I know that there were a couple on the cart too that I grabbed that had indents.
Okay. And you unloaded these guns prior to putting them back in the safe. And where did you put those rounds?
Those rounds I threw away.
Oh yeah, those are the ones you threw away.
Yeah.
Did you recover them?
No, we didn't go through trashes.
Yeah, they didn't go through the trash because they didn't know there'd be dumb assholes throwing around ammunition.
there was, I mean,
No, I'm just
everywhere
wondering,
out there,
don't get me wrong, I'm not doing some check, I don't
That's what I'm missing.
know about forensics and crime scene investigation. Okay.
so that's kind of where we're at right now. And it's really the only thing making sense as to, I mean, if these were, like I said, if they're Winchester rounds, we might be sitting in a different spot,
Oh, shut up.
but they're not. They're obviously the ones that somebody made.
They're made with casings that had to come from, I mean, I know it's still an assumption, but all comes from PDQ. So sometime PDQ was making live rounds. All the 45s are thrown into a big bin.
Okay, I suppose I have to read this super chat. Thank you, Brandon. Thank you, Brandon. Let's go. The horse had an accidental discharge, full load on my face, which was crazy, but fun. The random gunshots were not a concern. I'm glad you got that off your chest. Thank you. I
They
guess.
pull from those bins thinking they're all dummies, not realizing that somebody had thrown some live rounds in there. They get thrown into the boxes. They just don't get picked up right. And it just happens to be, I mean, it is a confluence of one thing after another, but it's more plausible in my mind than somebody trying to plant the Jason Moles theory. Somebody's trying to, I mean, good luck.
Sabotage theory?
Yeah, the sabotage theory. I mean,
Yeah, the cop's like, oh, God. The sabotage theory, are you going there?
you have to be pretty damn lucky, or I don't know how the sabotage
To
works.
know that that box was gonna be picked.
Yeah.
That round was gonna be picked out of it.
It's gonna be in,
And-
not every round in the cylinder was live.
Right.
And he's gonna pull trigger on that Russian roulette round. But if it pushes,
Have I gone to Bizarro World? But I mean, maybe I'm tired. Maybe I'm malnourished. Maybe there's something wrong in the cosmos. But none of these people have made any sense for the last 15 minutes.
if it pushes the needle away from Hannah, that's his job, I guess. All right.
Any more questions for me?
Do you see any culpability with my client at all?
So
Well, they're not going to answer that. They're still investigating. They'll let you know whether or not they think she was responsible.
what I'm doing, if there was anything that pointed out to me, obviously I'd be doing something about it.
What?
We're obviously a month in. So I cannot say what the district attorney is. They don't, I mean, like I said, I gotta do my part and then I give it to them. And then,
But typically, because I was married to a DA at one time,
That's
as
his
I
ex.
understand it, they take the report and they base, any charges filed on the report. They don't try to supplement criminal investigation talents, expertise, experience for yours. They would make it.
I mean,
They have.
they can't always file.
Oh yeah,
In
oh
the
no, I know
sense-
they have complete latitude. to do so.
Yeah.
Good freaking luck.
But they're already aware that, of what I am doing, of where I am, and they're
And
aware that I will not be filing.
Alright. Just really bad luck.
yeah,
It's
at the root of bad luck is someone fucking up or multiple people's fucking up.
do you have any questions, Sarah?
Totally shows you how. Better not. Better just not bring it up at all. What's her theory?
Who's?
Lisa's.
Well, I just informed her about the whole ammunition situation this morning, but she was kind of stuck on have the whole target shooting thing in her, because that's all that she's heard.
My theory was the crew.
Was the camera crew? For them to,
In other words, here's my theory. I don't think it holds up anymore. But it was my theory before I walked through that door.
All right, tell us,
My
oh
theory
wise
is
one.
Camera crews pissed off because they're having to drive back and forth. In Albuquerque, they're like, maybe there's some non-unions or some scabs, whatever. They're pissed off. In this day and age, people are just whatever.
especially in Albuquerque.
Yeah, especially in Albuquerque. Screw these guys. We're gonna throw some live rounds into that ammo with all that other ammo. They'll shoot off, maybe, they'll hit a barn or something like that.
This is literally my first theory. This is my main theory of the case. Exactly what he's saying. Sarah, you're nuttier than a fruitcake. Your lawyer, though, he seems like a pretty smart guy. He's thinking what I'm thinking. That was if you go back and watch the initial stages of all of these, this was my thoughts. This was my theory right here. The disgruntled crew sowing all of the various sources of ammo with live rounds, hoping they'll hit a barn and people will freak out, cause safety concerns, either get the film shut down or make them pay for a hell of a lot more of. I mean, this is just weird. This is my theory of the case. This is my theory of the case. I'm proud of myself. I'm always right, goddammit. You know it, my Beavers unit. I'm always right about everything because I'm the smartest one in the room. No, shut up, Jeff.
We're gonna throw some live rounds into that ammo with all that other ammo. They'll shoot off, maybe, they'll hit a barn or something like that, but nobody, and then they'll know what we said. This set was not safe. They'll really know and they'll appreciate what we saw.
That is exactly my theory of the case. And that'll get rid of the evil Hannah. Seth wins,
Damn well proven. As a point to be made, because they were disgruntled because they had to drive up what they called a rural highway, I-25. And it was that some asshole, some guy had not only had an axe to grind, but things at home sucked, and maybe he was wrestling with addiction issues or something.
What?
But he throws in a handful of those. But that would never account for them being in the boxes like they were in the.
It will be if they were placed gently there, or if your client had something to do with it.
PDQ.
Well, for them to, it would take one well-known person to be able to say, or to be able to say or should I say acquire Starline Brass.
Oh
And
yeah, you're.
Well, what, Artie Noobs? Sounds like someone else is smart in the room. That's exactly what the cop just asked.
or to be able to say or should I say acquire Starline Brass.
Oh
And
yeah, you're really not. Now you're talking about the grassy knoll. Yeah.
Now that is kind of the that's kind of the problem with that scenario is how do they get the Starline rounds? How do they get loaded and get back on set? And they're like, oh, now you're just on the grassy knoll. No, I think that's a legitimate question. That's not one I've actually worked out my acceptable answer. So yeah, but to say, oh no, now you're just on the grassy knoll there. And lawyer, you were smart a second ago. Now you're spouting shit again.
that would take, some people are intelligent, but I don't really figure there's.
I actually do have a couple questions because I haven't gotten any clarity on this. So it's been confirmed that Dave handed Alec the gun.
So here's the thing is, we go off of statements of everyone. That's all I can do is, I take your statement and that's what I write down.
Yep.
Without, and then we work off of evidence.
Off of that
And,
wacky stuff called evidence.
Obviously this wasn't it was a live round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's evidence.
Yeah.
So as far as
It's a live round, and there's other live rounds, and you were running around pulling all the live rounds out and getting your fingerprints all of them over them. That's evidence.
everything goes, as far as statements, is that Dave handed off to them.
That in of itself was not the correct protocol, but I just didn't understand how he had the gun. So I just didn't know how he came in possession.
You know what the protocol is, right? Armor hands it AD.
No, he doesn't hand it to AD.
She shows it.
Shows it.
Thank you. Shows it. He clears or he checks. Boom. Looks good. She then has not released the weapon at all. And then she hands it to the actor.
But
But
is that written protocol?
That may be industry custom.
officer going in for the kill here, coming down the home stretch. Well, this is what happens. Was that written protocol? Oh, maybe it's industry standards or customs or yeah. I like this cop. She's doing a good job.
So as far as I'm aware, it's just I've never
It's common practice.
yeah.
But
But Dave has never, he never called, because usually if he needed a gun, he would call for it on the radio. He would usually just call for Hannah, but he never before that would take a gun from us. So I was just very confused why all of a sudden he had a gun. So
Everybody run. Alec Baldwin's got a gun.
I already asked him. Oh, just if he got it off the cart, that was the other one. But I don't know about that one.
well, I mean, you gotta think, there was not a lot of timing in between, but I mean, you saw him take the gun.
Yeah, and then
So,
I was gone after that. Yeah.
like, between you guys came back at 1:30, there was maybe 11 minutes,
Did they?
maybe.
What was the time when the incident happened?
We got the call at 1:41.
You were right there when the incident happened. How could you not know what fucking time it was when it happened? Ugh. Yeah, statuesque mid 28:45. No one did their part, and that's the problem. Ugh, so sad. Yep. And someone who's standing right there can't tell you what time it happened. So take that for what it's worth.
Wow. You guys were moving quick. Wow.
So that's
More
what I'm
time's
saying.
money in the industry. Have you searched? Have you gone through PDQ?
It's
Huh? It's in the works.
It's not. Take that out of this room though.
Yeah.
I would have figured Warren would have been out right away.
Well, it takes PC to get in there.
No, I
It
understand.
takes statements.
Did you ask that? And he said no.
So, I'm sure he would be, I just don't, like I said, there's a lot of stuff I'll be transparent with this in, like, how I asked you about the DNA. I've asked everybody for a download of their phones. But, a phone is something where if you delete stuff, I'm gonna find it.
Sarah looks like an albino grasshopper. Nice. Solid
I
take.
tell you I'm gonna do something, like, you can't change your DNA. You can change what's in the vicinity of places. So,
So you're fucked, Sarah. You're fine.
In the end, it's just going to answer a question of where the rounds came from. If that's in fact where they came from. But they could not, or there could be nothing that points there when they get there.
I mean, it would be a bigger stretch to believe they didn't come from there than to believe that they did. So,
Well, and especially Billy Ray only provided stuff that was not.
you'll see on the invoice it's 30, 40, 44, 44, 40, 38, 40.
That came from him. Did you have the invoice for PDQ too? For the ammo?
I do, but the invoice that I have is all blanks. You have the one sheet.
They're on the same one at the bottom. It has the dummy rounds.
Does it show how many?
And it just, I can't remember if it was more than just the one block.
My Beavers unit. Thank you, Miss Maud. Sarah looks like a
Oh, yeah,
walking
right.
stick. But don't
They
bump.
are 45.
Just that one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
17 W, 44, 40, 45, long coal, and 12 gauge. Total amount of coin fee is $200, $1.50 a piece, $300.
Wait, how many rounds? 75? Oh, he used 44, 40.
In the wrong business. Dummy rounds. So 200 rounds.
Well, there's 12 gauge in there too.
Oh, well, gauge and 44, 40.
He didn't bring
Just
it
look at the damn inventory sheet.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, there's 3 different kinds of rounds in there. Do you know if the labels look different on Billy Ray's? Do you know who provides to Billy Ray or who makes? So here's the thing: is these all have. I'll have to. I mean, well, since you don't know the difference in his boxes or the label on it.
I don't remember what they look like.
And the invoice from him is here too, right?
Yeah.
Winter Steel says everything confuses this girl. I'm confused right now.
Because I felt like there were 3, but there's only 2 listed.
From
Billy Ray.
Boot, scoot, and boogie.
But that makes me think that there were only 2 then.
from him.
Sorry, that
Yeah.
wasn't Billy Ray.
Well, do you remember what he put them in?
The same, he just gave me the white boxes themselves, like just individually.
But his you have to return to him. Is that
Well,
right?
He already texted
Well-
me about that, and he was just like, I don't think I'm gonna get those back, and I told him probably not.
Because his are rentals.
Yeah,
Is Seth's rentals or this is purchase?
his
Oh, this is the dummies or rentals.
yeah, that makes sense. With the, just because those can be reused. But with blanks, he said that when it comes to productions purchasing those, because they're purchased and not returned, that the armory usually takes the ammo and with them, and it doesn't give it to production, they take it with them like for their next production.
A business to be in. Dummy rooms. Interesting. Alright.
The Christ was
Yeah,
that?
like I said, I mean, I think I talked to you about the phone. That's the only other thing that I'm gonna request.
You want to extract your phone?
Mhm.
Who does it for you guys?
RCFL.
Okay.
So, there's there's 2 ways to go about it. One is consent, there's a warrant. Try not to be an asshole to anybody. This whole thing.
Let me tell you what happens. My girlfriend of 8 years is a partner in a friend in a digital, up in Denver.
Mhm.
It's been for a long time. They're gonna go into your phone and they'll pull up everything.
Mhm.
I mean, every single thing. Okay. You're probably, you have some private stuff. Guys have a lot more stuff than girls do.
I don't know. I juveniles.
Yeah.
Have.
It's just incredible stuff. But they're looking for only the stuff that applies to this case. And that's all that happens. And your personal stuff is not made public.
It's time to turn over your phone, your computer records, all those pictures you wish you didn't have. The police have to go through them one by one to weed out the relevant information. Woo! Sexy time in the police station.
Or any conversation with your attorney is not made public. It is only, and it's not even that it's going to be made public, it's if it's beneficial.
Who's doing it?
RCFL?
RCFL.
Yeah. And like we're doing this with Dave's, with Alex, and with Hannah's too. So it's really anything pertaining to rust, and it's really anything that's going to be evidence of a crime. Okay. Yes, everything is pooled, but if there's nothing beneficial, then
So they run a program through it. The program will identify everything that has anything to do with rust. Okay. And it pulls it.
Never mind. I was just going to make a comment about pictures involving her and Seth and maybe a barn animal or two.
They're not some guy going through every single little thing. There's a program that does it for them.
yeah, and that's why, I've done phones myself, and they take like weeks.
You have the goggle and all that stuff.
You have to go through every single little thing. But if I give it to them, then they have their nice way of doing it.
So they only extract things.
Still
It's
catching
a-
up,
so
says
the
Zach
whole
Chris.
trash
Thank you
out,
so
but
much.
The only thing that
Everyone in this case is so sus.
would
Seriously,
be
everyone in
used
here
if
is
it
nuts.
pertains to us.
Okay.
So I can't do, like I said, if you've deleted stuff on your phone, it's gonna show.
Yeah, I didn't delete it.
Well-
Just saying, that's why it has to be full extract.
Jerry and Max asks, and thank you so much for that donation, by the way. Have you looked up union armorer qualifications for the state? Almost none. Basic education, but master prop wants master's degree. Unbelievable. Well, it doesn't really matter because Hannah, as an armorer, wasn't even union. She was working on her union certification, and she'd had like a half an afternoon of lifting moderately heavy things. I mean, just dumb shit going on here. Hannah had no qualifications. She wasn't a union member. She was just kind of there.
Got it.
Random people doing random shit and people die.
It's not like pick and choose.
No, it's the nuclear option, but it's one way to do it. But go ahead.
I think I just have some photos from every now and again that I deleted, but nothing. I mean, some pertain to rust, but more of just things that like I was done with, so I just deleted them because I didn't need it on my phone anymore.
Right. Which is fine. It's not, like I said, it's not that big of a deal unless you're like, hey, I made these rounds and
No.
Or unless they're like, hey, here's me going down on Seth while he's laughing about holding the rounds
like I
and
said,
putting
I'm
them in the
trying
box.
not to be an asshole to anybody.
Yes, you
because
are. You're a cop.
Technically, this could take a long time. So what I'm
We're
trying
still
to do
investigating.
for everyone
No
is say, like,
charges filed yet.
when are you available? When are you going to be okay without your phone for maybe 2, maybe 3 days max? Because RCFL also, I've already had a conversation with them. They've already, we've already discussed kind of how this is going to go because if I get a warrant, I don't have to give it back.
Dun, dun, dun.
Like I said, I'm trying not to be an asshole to anybody.
You're trying to be an asshole. You're a cop. Give me your phone now. Let me go through it. Let me get all the nasty bit of you on top of Seth's knob. and other things related to this case, or you give me a warrant and then I'll come and get him anyway, and you'll never see your phone again. Nice choice.
So I want to set up a time where it can go there, they can have somebody analyze it, and then it comes back, and then it goes back to you. And then that's it. So it's up to you guys, or you, really, it's your phone.
When would they be ready for it?
I just have to make a phone call to them and see, and that's what I'm saying, like, I just gotta coordinate that with them, but I wanna make sure it's not gonna like interfere with something serious that you have going on.
So that's what I want to find out. When they have availability, let us know and we'll coordinate. We'll find some time in that.
Okay.
Okay, not being too confrontational or standoffish about
Yeah.
turning stuff
And
over.
Yeah. Well, actually, they did have time tomorrow, but it's kind of too late to call them now.
Look at her pictures, and you can see how a pale grasshopper has sex.
Yeah, no, that's fine. I mean, I live there, so.
You wouldn't be able to go in.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm
law
coming to
enforcement.
your place.
oh, they come to my house.
No.
No.
We
No,
take
I
it.
You take it.
Mhm.
So she has to come back up here.
No, I have to go down the because I have to be present there, so I can just,
Oh, really? You present for the extraction?
I have to take it.
Oh, yeah. Oh,
So
that's right. You have to check custody.
can I just meet you like outside the place and give it to you?
Mhm.
Okay.
All right,
And
well,
then-
just coordinate it to me.
Yeah, and then I'd have to
I mean,
figure out how to get it back. Or, yeah, either way. Like I said, I'm just trying to return everybody's stuff as soon as possible.
Yeah. That's fine.
Yeah.
Who else did go through? I had one guy that I did an extraction and it took 2 days just to do the extraction on his phone because he had so much stuff.
Oh, now she's just shooting the shit with him.
I don't keep anything on mine, like,
well, I run everything. In addition to my law practice, I help run a couple of businesses. So I just these things.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying, everybody's phones.
I don't
They're
have to
like-
hide, but it's just tons of data. You know? Okay.
Yep, not mine. I'm like,
Well, you've been wonderful about coordinating, being patient with us. Thank you so much. And
Well,
being
thank
as
you guys for
transparent as you
coming in.
possibly can, because really it helps her so much with peace of mind. What's going on? Where am I at this?
She should have no
What's
peace of
happening?
mind.
You know, and what happened? Because she cares. You know, and she's gone through a lot of the nightmares and a little PTSD from the whole thing because somebody got killed.
Right.
Right. You know, virtually right from her. So I think today may help a little bit. Yeah. Answer some questions and stuff. So thanks. Appreciate that.
Oh, God. Just go home.
Okay.
Thank you, Jesus. God, that was painful to watch. Good Lord. That was a rough time. It was great until it just went completely off. I mean, those answers Sarah was giving. My feeling again, the police know she did some seriously negligent shit. At least, at bare minimum, she did some seriously negligent stuff. She had a duty of care to the people on the set and breached that duty, and somebody got hurt, and somebody got dead. At very least, I mean, at most, depending on what's on that phone, what's going on with Seth and his phone, there could be a lot more problems coming their way. This is weird. I mean, that was literally that last 25 minutes made no sense to me whatsoever. I don't think I got a damn thing out of that last 25 minutes. Ugh. Well, that brings us to the end of this rather horrific day. I mean, not like Hannah horrific, because Hannah didn't have a lawyer and was being horrific. That was just like horrifically tedious and boring and disjointed. Oh my Lord. Wow. Thank you for those of you that stuck around for this shit show this long. I deeply appreciate you being here. Oh man. But I do like the interrogator. She's very, very good. Again, she wants you to think she's being casual, but she actually has her shit together. I'm convinced they're building a case against all three of the guys, I guess, Hannah, Seth, and Sarah. She's good at her questioning. She's good at her job. And nobody likes to compliment the police, but she is legit doing a good job. So have to give her props for doing that. Got to give her props for running a hell of a good interview for all of the peeps. Now tomorrow we're going to be doing Assistant Director David Halls. We're going to be doing his interview. That should wrap up all of the Alec Baldwin interviews for us, and then we'll just have to sit back and wait for some updates on the legal proceedings. As the updates come in, I'll be happy to comment on them. And what you got? What you doing there, doggy? Oh, I think my dog's nope, she's got a toy in her mouth. Okay. Anyway, wow, that was just rough. For those of you that stuck through that last half hour of this absolute shit show and put up with that word salad nonsense, God bless you. Because I was ready to pull the plug 10 minutes before this thing ended. That's why I'm all fidgety over here, because I was just like, oh God, I'm so bored and this is so stupid and I don't understand what's going on and I just want to get out of here. But yeah, let's see where it goes. Tomorrow we'll have David Halls. Up to this point, it's been Dave's not here, man. But Dave will be here tomorrow to be answering questions for the police. I would just like to give a very, very sincere thanks on the way out the door to those of you, exactly 400 of you that liked this video. If there's others of you that are sticking around that haven't hit that like button, please do. I would deeply appreciate it, and that would be wonderful, and I would be indebted to you. And if you haven't done so, please hit that subscribe button as well, and you'll get notifications. Hopefully, notifications haven't been coming in regularly for some reason. Just YouTube doing their usual YouTubey things. YouTube is the YouTubiest tubes in all the YouTube land, so whatever. Could have been a little bit more exciting, especially that last half hour, but hey, it was what it was. Those of you that gave deeply from your pockets, no matter what the amount, to donate to me, deeply, deeply appreciated. Thank you so much. My mods, thank you so much. All of you chatters, all of you people just hanging around, lurking, listening to me in the background, thank you to you as well. We got 3 more days and then I'm out of here for 2 weeks. We're getting some stuff ready to upload and to put out, to publish while I'm gone to keep you entertained. I will be in Vegas coming up soon next week. I'll make a little post somewhere, and if anybody happens to be in the hood, you're welcome to join me. And I'll be in Salt Lake City probably the 26th and 27th of this month. Though if anybody's there, hey, you're welcome to join. I'll be letting you know where I'll be at just for the shits and giggles of it all. But until tomorrow, until we get on with David Halls, God, I hope all of you had at least a mildly entertaining time here this evening. Again, it wasn't one of the best interviews. It did drug on there at the end. But take care. All of you, get on with your day. Get on with your morning. Get on with your evening. Whatever you need to do today, enjoy. I'm going to call it quits for tonight. It is 1:21 a.m., 2 hours and 18 minutes into this lovely little stream. You all take care. See you tomorrow for David Halls. Until then, do not forget to enjoy those legal vices.